Hey guys, so today's video is gonna be about integration in Sweden. So if a lot of you guys don't know, I'm just gonna say this, you should know that integration in Sweden is something that's very low, and a lot of you guys have lived in Sweden or studying about Sweden will bet you this. Integration in Sweden is something that is very, very low in Sweden. We don't really have good integration system in Sweden. And today's video I'm gonna be talking about why I feel like integration in Sweden is very low. And I think like before I get into this video, I'm just gonna clear this thing out. When I mean integration in Sweden, because there's two kinds of integration. There's integration between the migrants, that means other migrants integrated with other migrants, which I think is very good in Sweden, which that I think is in a good place. But when we talk about integration between Swedes and the migrants, or the migrants with the Swedes, it's something that is very, very low. It's not something that's very common in Sweden. It's something that people are really, it tends kind of a thing. This is the thing, when it comes to integration, I'm gonna say this. The thing about integration is that integration goes with equality. For people to integrate, they have to treat each other equally. That's how integration, first of all, works. And I feel like if we go back into history, we can go back into history and read a lot about history, and we see that one of the reasons why integration was really poor back then was because there was little or no equality among people. And I can give a very good common example. It's like during the time of slavery, like in America, where if you look at it, blacks knew their positions in the society, and the whites, they knew their position in the society. It was something that when you're born as a black person, they already tell you, oh, you know you're gonna end up like a slave. You're a slave, and you might end up as a slave. And then a white person is already being told, oh, you're dominant, you're better off than that person because you are white and that person is black. And if you look at that time, there was little or no integration in America because people knew their positions in the society. One party was dominant, the other party was just like there watching. And that's the thing. For me personally, I'm gonna say this. One of the reasons why integration doesn't work in Sweden, this is the thing. It has to do with the system, because for integration to first of all work in a country, the system plays a very, very big role when it comes to integration in a country. The system plays a very big role because how a country is being built and how the system operates in that country can determine if integration is going to be something that is going to be good or it's going to be something that's going to be bad. And I feel like in Sweden, why integration is very poor, really bad in Sweden, is because of the Swedish system, the way the Swedish system is being built. And if you're anyone that has gotten a chance to work in the Swedish system or meet people in the Swedish system, like I did get a chance, and I'm still getting a chance because I'm still working in the Swedish system, and I still get a lot of chance to meet a lot of people working in the Swedish system. I feel like the thing about in the Swedish system is that there's little or no equality when it comes between the migrants and the Swedes. It's something that is there, like, and the thing is that the migrants, they know it, and the Swedish people, they know it. When you work in the Swedish system or you get a chance to meet the Swedes in their system, you realize one thing. There's little or no equality among the migrants and the Swedes. Like the Swedes are more dominant, and then the migrants are just the ones like in the background. We can take a very good example, which I might make a video about this. I don't know when, but I hope I get to make a video about it, talking about the work market in Sweden. If you've been inside the work market in Sweden, you see that a lot of migrants have really, really bad contracts. And not like they love having those contracts, but it's that if they try to stand up and be like, oh, I feel like my contract should not be this way compared to a Swedish person that's working in the same office or in the same place with them, they might end up losing their jobs. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to be like, but wait a minute, why would you give a Swedish person a better contract and give a migrant a contract that is so stressful, it's so demanding? Nobody. And the migrants, they know it. They even tell you, like, when you complain about, oh, my contract's so bad, or I feel like my boss should have given me a better contract because when I look at my other colleague that's a Swedish person, that person gets a better contract than I. This is what they're going to tell you. This is what most migrants tell each other. Like, you have to be grateful that you even have a job to start with, because you don't want to take them up and start complaining, because you might end up even losing that job of yours that you already have. And that's the thing I mean by equality, because when a country, a system in a country is built where one party feels like I can be treated better than the other party because I feel like, oh, I'm better off than you because of maybe how I look or where I'm from or what I have or what you don't have, there's no way people can integrate, because now the two parties, they know where to stand. The migrants, they know that, oh, I'm never going to be a Swedish person. And the Swedes, they know, oh, I'm better off than you because I'm Swedish. So at the end of the day, how do you want people to integrate Swedish system when your system itself literally has little or no equality in it? Because if if we want people to integrate, first thing first, we have to start by working in the system, by making sure that everyone is being treated equally, everyone is being given equal rights, everyone is being seen equally in the system. But when we build a system where some people are being seen better off than the other person, or the other person is being seen like, oh, you're not good enough because of, oh, you're a migrant, or where you're from, or your skin color doesn't qualify you to be good enough, then we cannot integrate. And I'm going to say this is the thing, and I'm going to say this to the Swedish system. Look, no matter how we twist this whole thing of integration in Sweden, I'm going to say this to the Swedish system. If we want integration to work really good in Sweden, Swedish system, this is the truth. We have to rebuild the Swedish system. Yeah. When I mean rebuild the Swedish system, I mean this. First thing, we have to start by not preaching equality, but practicing equality. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. In Sweden, we all preach equality. I've gone to a lot of conferences where Swedes have sat there for hours talking about equality, debating about equality. But let me tell you, at the end of the day, when we leave those conferences, nothing happens. Because at the end of the day, we go back to our bullshit way of still treating those migrants or those people like they're not good enough. So it's not about sitting and having conferences where we talk about it and be like, oh, we should do this, or there's equality, or we can. But it's all about when we go back to our offices, we should practice those things that we have preached about, or those things that we have held conferences and talked about. It's not just sitting there in a conference with a bunch of people, inviting a bunch of people sitting there, we're taking down notes and people are talking about. No, it's all about practicing it, because I feel like as long as we don't practice in Sweden, there's no way people are going to integrate. Yeah, because at the end of the day, everyone is going to preach, oh, there's equality, oh, there should be equality. But at the end of the day, who is practicing it? Because when nobody's practicing it, and then the thing I'm going to tell you, I met a lot of Swedish people, and I used to ask them, I'm like, why do you think like integration is very poor in Sweden? And this is what they always say. They'll be like, Janet, I don't know, or maybe because the migrants don't speak good Swedish, so how are we going to integrate with them? Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, part of it is true, yeah. One thing you have to know about integration is that communication too has to step in, yeah. We must be able to communicate with each other. Yeah, but I don't think the language is the main issue to why integration is very poor in Sweden. I personally would tell you the reason why integration is very, very poor in Sweden, it has to do with the way the Swedish system is being built. And the Swedish system knows it. And the Swedes working in the system, they know it. That the way we treat those people, the things we do to those people, the decisions we give to those people, there's no way in a million years they're going to really want to integrate with us. There's no way they're really going to see us and trust us. Because so this is the thing, I'm going to say this. For integration, first of all, to happen in Sweden, it has to do a lot with the Swedish system. Yeah. And the Swedish system, you know that. Look, when a system has little or no equality in it, the chances of integration being so good in that country is very slim. And that's the same thing. That's what is happening in Sweden. The Swedish system has little or no equality in the system. And that's why integration is very, very low in Sweden and very, very poor in Sweden, because the system is the one that builds the integration in a country. Because when there is equality, when the system makes it easier for everyone to be treated equally, then there's a chance that everyone's going to integrate with everyone. But when the system makes it look like, oh, this person or a Swedish person is better off than you, or a Swedish person is going to be given more preference, more respect, treated more like better than the others because that person is Swedish, and then the migrant is there like, oh, you're not good enough because you're a migrant, or you're not good enough because of where you're from, or you're not good enough because of your skin color. And then how we going to integrate Sweden? How we going to integrate? Let's be honest. How we going to integrate with that kind of a system? Sweden is always going to be very low, because as long as there's little or no equality in the system, integration is always going to be very low in Sweden. And that's why integration is very low in Sweden.